Good morning. So I want to summarise what I've been going through because I feel it's so appropriate for everyone to understand this. So when a person dies, as people call it, leaving their physical body behind, and also the other time it can happen is on the person's deathbed, is what can happen to a person is what is called a life review. And as I understand it, this is something that happens at some point for everyone. And if it hasn't happened at any other time, it definitely happens after leaving the physical body behind. And the idea is that we get to witness our lives from the perspective of others, in a sense, so that everything that we have inflicted upon others, we get to experience the pain that they went through. And this is such a profound thing to do. And I guess the reason why I'm going into yet more detail about it is because I had no idea that I would end up being propelled into what's been going on for me. And it did really start with my mother's demise more than 18 months ago, coming up for 2 years ago now, really. And it's such a profound experience, and I'm so grateful for it. And things just hit me at the most unexpected moments. And what I realise as I'm going through all this, and I hope I've made it clear enough before, but maybe I haven't, so I just want to say this really clearly. When you go through any kind of a life review where you suddenly experience what other people have been through at your hands, then this is an opportunity to do the mother of all clearings. And this clearing is so important in terms of enabling you to step into your power, because as long as you are in any kind of a denial or resistance, or just simply unaware of the consequences of things you've done, and I was having a conversation with a good friend about this very recently, very often it's not so much the things you've done, it's the things that you didn't do. That can sometimes cause the greatest pain to people, simply the things that we didn't do. So by going through this and feeling the pain, and do you remember we live in a society which wants to medicate everyone with pharmaceutical drugs, which is all about not feeling the pain. So it's a pretty revolutionary act to take this on. So by being present and feeling whatever comes up in a life review process is literally enabling you finally to begin to step into your true power as a sovereign, free human being, man or woman. So this is a really profound thing to do, and it's going to help you in the times to come, and it's particularly going to help you to help others, because I guess it's the thing that I've become so keenly aware of. And I'm segueing straight into the next thing I want to mention, which is that I know one person. The numbers have dwindled down and down and down, as I now know only one person, and that's my brother's wife. They've been separated a long time, and she lives in an island in the Mediterranean, and she lives completely off grid, and she spends a lot of her time in silence. And something that's important in shamanism is silent knowledge and access to silent knowledge. And the way we get access to silent knowledge is to go into silence. And I want to define silence in rather a strange way, because actually it doesn't mean the absence of all sound. More than anything, it means screens off. Yes, all screens off. She doesn't have a screen. anywhere. She's got a little house, she's got some land. Nowhere in any of her life is there a screen. So can you imagine what this is doing to her spiritual development? Because I guess what I've become aware of is my gradual enslavement to such things. Here I am holding up a screen, for God's sakes, in order to talk about why it's such a powerful thing to do to let go of screens. Now the irony is not lost on me, it really isn't. And some people have a very strong sense about moderating and limiting children's access to screens, because of course if children have got access to screens 24/7 when they're really young, well, what is that doing? So in conversations last night, something that's become really clear to me is that the human race is having the most extraordinary exploration of addiction that we've ever had. And it's definitely a lot less about any pharmaceutical drugs and a lot more about screens. Because what screens do effectively, when we spend more than a tiny amount of time on them, what happens to us is that we are literally being blocked from our access to silent knowledge, which is our spiritual heritage. So one of the most powerful things you can do is to make sure every single day, start your day with no screen and keep it going for as long as you can. That's a really powerful thing to do. And silent knowledge is something that we all need to be able to access. And I will go into more detail in the future in other films about this subject. But for now, that's the most important thing you can do. Make sure you have some time every day without screens. It'd be far too much for me to suggest that you want to live like my sister-in-law, completely off grid and with no screen whatsoever. And I can see there are benefits and advantages to them, for sure. And yet, ultimately, what they're doing is they are the primary agency to rob us of our true spiritual heritage. So on that note, I'm going to leave you with this extraordinary sunrise view. Here I am in Devon. So all the love to you, and may you be blessed with some time every day with no screen. Right, well, I'm done. I'm going to switch my screen off. I'm going to go and have my non-screen time too. So all the love to